He was the last to join, but many say he was the key to making the Beatles the best-known band in history. Richard Starkey, but the world would know him forever as Ringo Starr.
Now, there has always been a fueled debate on whether Ringo Starr was a good drummer or not. At least it was when I was studying drums a couple of years ago. In fact, whenever Ringo was mentioned, there was always a wave of giggles in the classroom. He's got a bad rap, that is for sure. But there are a few aspects to his drumming that are unarguably unique to him. These unique aspects are seen as either Ringo flares or sloppy drumming. In this video, we will break down some of the different aspects to his drumming and Beatle tracks to try and come to a conclusion. Saying that, let's get into it. The first thing to notice is the way that Ringo is playing the hi-hat. It's unique to him and not something I have seen other drummers do often. Looking at this clip of him playing live shows it clearly. You can see, instead of keeping a straight wrist, Ringo is swinging the stick as he hits the hi-hat. It's been noted that the reason for this is to expel less energy whilst playing, but this is where people may see it as just lazy drumming. It's fair when people come to that conclusion because the sound he is producing is less precise using this technique. The added slightly open hi-hat adds to the sloppy sound. He is not producing the solid quarter beat hi-hat hit that we are so used to hearing. But if you delve a little deeper there could be a reason for using this technique. You could argue that Ringo is adding a swing element to his playing. He may have been an avid listener to that type of drumming and therefore wanted to bring it into the Beatles' pop sound. It also does emphasise every quarter beat when he plays it this way. You could compare it to a tennis player. Tennis players have a front and a backhand swing. If they are right-handed, their front-hand swing is likely to have more power and feel more comfortable to them than their backhand. This is the same for Ringo. When he swings to the left, he will play a slightly louder note. When he swings to the right, it will be a quieter note. There could be two different opinions to this technique. First of all, you could say that there is no need for this, as the Beatles tend to play in a simple 4/4 time signature, with no other swing elements to their music at all. Or you could say that Ringo has added a little flair to what would have been a more simple and boring beat. What are your thoughts on this? Another aspect to Ringo's drumming is heard more clearly in the Beatles' recorded tracks. He wasn't afraid to spend a lot of time tuning his drums to the perfect pitch for each song, giving a majority of tracks a different drum sound to each other. He also sometimes traded in the hi-hat for a tambourine, or even just let the tambourine drown out possible hi-hat beats underneath. He was very aware of how his drums sounded, especially when mixing them with other instruments. To hear an example of this, listen to the Beatles track With a Little Help from My Friends. You'll be able to hear that during the verses, and a little bit in the chorus, Ringo's drums are pretty compressed. But when it comes to the odd drum fill, the drums are much lower and bigger sounding. This proves to me that Ringo thinks about the overall dynamics of each song. He doesn't mind other instruments being in front of his drums, and he scales back his drum sound when needed. Considering those few different aspects of Ringo's drumming, do they make him a good drummer? Well, it depends on what you consider to be a good drummer. Is knowing where you stand within a band and taking consideration of the overall track other than your drums a good factor? Is good timing an aspect of a good drummer? Yes, Ringo wasn't and isn't the most technical drummer in the world, and you won't find him steering too far away from a simple drum beat. When you compare him to other drummers that are more known for their technical ability, such as John Bonham, then Ringo can look pretty poor in comparison. But drumming isn't always about the technical fills and odd time signatures. Sometimes it's just about providing that driving force to a song. Do you think Ringo Starr is a good drummer? I know there are many different opinions out there on this, so I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. We plan to make more drum analysis videos in the future. Would you like us to cover any specific drummers, or your favourite drummer? If you do, also type us a comment below. If you'd like to keep updated with any new videos, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell.